Today we are going to discuss about a new topic, that is the soil pollution and its remedies. It is the most important topic in the pollution studies, pollution remedies. Now, what are the contents? What is soil? What is soil pollution? How it is caused? The types of soil pollution? What are the effects of soil pollution? How we can control the soil pollution? Now, first of all, we should know about soil. What is soil? Soil is the thin layer of the organic and the inorganic substances or the material which are present on the earth from the bedrock, or the we can say that the broken rock which are coming from the downside, and it is also not altered by the chemical and the mechanical process through weathering and erosion. आपको मैं हिंदी में भी समझा देती हूँ साथ साथ कि जो मिट्टी होती है उसमें बहुत सारे टूटे हुए रॉक्स के पार्टिकल होते हैं, जिसमें केमिकल्स होते हैं, मैकेनिकल पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, जो वेदरिंग ऑफ अर्थ की वजह से, इरोजन्स की वजह से बनते हैं, जो अर्थ के ऊपर इरोजन होता है उसकी वजह से बनते हैं। और टॉप मोस्ट फर्टाइल लेयर को ही हम सॉइल बोलते हैं, मिट्टी बोलते हैं, जिसके अंदर बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनिक न्यूट्रिएंट्स भी होते हैं। तो इट इज़ डिफाइंड बिकॉज द वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सॉइल। तो सॉइल जो होती है वो फर्टाइल होती है, टॉप मोस्ट लेयर। बट अगर उसमें हम बहुत सारे केमिकल्स को ऐड कर दें या ऐसी चीज़ों को ऐड कर दें विच आर नॉट गुड फॉर द विच चेंजेस द केमिकल एंड द नेचर, फिजिकल नेचर, जो सॉइल का कलर चेंज कर लें, उसका टेक्सचर चेंज कर दें, उसकी वाटर रिटेंशन कैपेसिटी को चेंज कर दें, उसमें जो बायोलॉजिकल ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं उनकी ग्रोथ को अफेक्ट करें, उनको हिंडर करें, तो सॉइल पोल्यूशन कैन बी डिफाइंड एज द फिजिकल, केमिकल एंड बायोलॉजिकल चेंज इन द करेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द सॉइल, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो डिफाइंड अप बाय द buildup of the soil of persistent toxic compounds, chemicals, salts, some radioactive elements, some disease causing agents which are creating adverse effect on the plant growth and the animal health. Now, soil pollution is also caused by the means of the direct addition of some of the human induced activities. Now, we are inducing some chemicals or the agriculture runoff or the waste, we can say the sewage waste, agriculture, industrial waste materials into the directly to the soil, radioactive substances, acidic precipitates, and nuclear waste, everything we are putting, some of the paints, varnishes, plastics, industrial waste, agricultural waste. So soil pollution is basically the defined in the change in physical, chemical, biological conditions of soil through the human intervention and resulting in the degradation of the soil quality. Now, these in this form you can say that the causes are of two types: natural and the man-made causes. Natural, it occurs by its own, and man-made, natural causes like flooding, or we can say that erosion caused by the water or the wind, and man-made causes are the industrial, agricultural, then we can have the sewage, fertilizers, pesticides, deforestation, addition of nuclear waste, mining activities, contaminated water, sewage, addition of fertilizers, pesticides, rupture of some kind of tanks, other activities. Now, spillages through the landfilling sites, addition of the industrial waste through the water bodies into the soil, and percolation of the wastewater or contaminated water. So these all are the soil pollution causes. Now we have to go for the pesticide application. So we are directly putting into the soil or the crops. We are adding plastics or polythene and used medical or the other industrial waste directly to the soil. You can see the industrial spillage over there and the solid waste pH. Now, petroleum, other waste which are causing the soil pollution are petroleum hydrocarbons, petroleum diesel, and all other derivatives of the petroleum hydrocarbons like octane, hexane, benzene, all other organic chemicals, heavy metals, pesticides, solvents are responsible for the soil pollution. Now, types of soil pollution. We have different types of the soil pollution: agriculture soil pollution by industrial activities or the solid waste activities, pollution by the urban activities. Now, pollution by the both surface and underground soil, both are affected. Now, agricultural soil pollution, in which the plants are depend upon the food. Plants basically take the food, we are taking the food from the plants, and the plants are under the attack of insects, fungi, bacteria, rodents, and all other things. So we have to put some kind of the killing agents, like we want does not want this of the population to remain in the crops. So farmers use pesticides and other chemicals for and in the case of the fertility loss, they put some fertilizers into the soil, contaminate the roots, also crops grown in the soil. So in this way, the agriculture soil pollution occur due to the addition of the excessive fertilizers, pesticides, and the herbicides. Now, consumption of these pesticides, and if they goes to the food chain or the food web, they may create some kind of the cancers, leukemia, water problems, and other diseases to the water body. Biomagnification is also there. Now, agricultural effects which are occurred due to the soil pollution are basically number one. We have to just go for the headings, and you have to write the subheadings by your own, which I am giving you the information that reduce soil fertility. Because of these agricultural activities, we are just putting one kind of the fertilizer, pesticide also to the soil again, and the monoculture is there, so it reduces the soil fertility and creates some kind of the increase in the some of the nutrients and decrease in the some of the micronutrients like zinc, cadmium, copper. And because of the deficiency of the micronutrients in the soil, the fertility loss is there. Now, reduced nitrogen fixation, because the animals, or the we can say that bacteria like nitrosomonas, nitrobacter, which are naturally fix the nitrogen into the soil, are affected due to the reduced nitrogen fixation process. And in this process, when the nitrogen is not fixed by the natural process, we have to artificially add some of the nitrogenous fertilizers, like we have urea, and we have other nitrogen phosphate, nitrogen fertilizers which are prepared. So we have 300 or more than 300 types of the fertilizers which are added in the lack of the nitrogen fixation process. Now, erodibility, if the soil is not fertile, if the soil is having not the crops, so the soil are not binded by the topmost layer of the soil, is become loose, and it is very much prone to erode through the water, or erode through the we can say that air can easily take away it, because the moisture content is less. It may happen that the water may erode the water, the soil, the fertile part of the soil. As it is the non renewable resource, 1 centimeter of the soil can be prepared in the 1,000 years. So it is not good for us that we increase the erodibility, or the fertility loss should be there. Larger the loss of the soil or nutrients, larger the effect may occur to the to the plants, the crops. Our yield is decreased, and we have to bear the loss in the form of crop productivity. Now, deposition of the slit in the tanks and the reservoir. If the agriculture is not good, and the we are not having the crops on the surface of the, because of the less fertility, so the slit is produced. So this slit, along with the water goes to the water bodies, or the tanks, or the reservoirs, where we just store the water, and that slit creates the siltage process, and that is very much harmful. Then I told you that when we are using the same kind of fertilizers and the same kind of the पेस्टिसाइड अगेन एंड अगेन इन द सॉइल, इट रिड्यूसेस द क्रॉप यील्ड. जो क्रॉप की पैदावार है वो कम होती जाती है, और उसका इफेक्ट होता है कि क्रॉप जो है वो it is not good for health also. That crop you got has the less of the nutrients. Then imbalance in the soil microflora and fauna can be easily seen. Now these are the agricultural effects. We can see the litter over there, and the green manuring is not done by the farmers. Now the industrial soil pollution. In the industrial soil pollution, you can see the large quantity of the waste which are unused and rejected. Then these are added like sludge, press mud, sawdust, bottles, plastic materials directly to the soil, and we just dump it in the surface of the soil. And almost all the industries are putting the different kind of the chemical waste, biological waste, or the sludge, sewage sludge, effluents directly to the soil. And in this way, we are increasing the toxic load on the soil. Larger the toxic load, larger the generation of waste, larger the pollution is there. Traditionally, these materials have the dumped around the factory site. You can easily see the near the factories that there is the soil get polluted. The color of the soil, you can see blackish to the reddish form there is there. This is in this first picture, you can easily see the wastewater directly put into the water bodies or the soil. So industrial effects, what are the industrial effects going to affect? The dangerous chemicals enter to the underground water. The underground water get polluted, the ecological imbalance is there, various plants and animals got damaged, they have a higher concentration of heavy metals, minerals, and their productivity may decreases. Also the gases release is there also, because through industries we have many gases, we find the many gases in the atmosphere. Also the salinity content in the reservoir or dams, like any kind of dam contains lots of slit. So due to this industrial soil pollution, the salinity increase, vegetation is reduced, and you can easily see the vegetation is affected because soil get polluted due to the industrial waste. You can see the animals moving on the polluted side of the, and they are eating the this dangerous pollutants, and because of this eating they are, may die. Then soil pollution due to urbanization, due to urban activities, like we are living in the urban cities, large number of cities are there, including they produce lots of and lots of waste, mostly biodegradable waste like vegetable waste, animal waste, paper, wooden pulse pieces, carcass, and then plant twigs, leaves, cloth, saw sweepings, and all of these biodegradable waste, and some of the non biodegradable materials such as plastic bags, plastic bottles, plastic waste, glass bottles, and we have the vaccination bottles, glass pieces, stone, cement, constructional waste, mining waste, everything. In a rough and estimated Indian cities, they are producing lots of the solid waste, and about 50,000 to 80,000 metric tons of the waste is added every day to the soil. And if it is not collected or decomposed properly, it may cause severe kind of problems. It may clog to the drains, it may have incolution to the areas, it may have a problem of the air pollution, public health problems may be raised, pollution of the drinking water supplies can be seen. There is a foul smell coming from the areas where the solid waste is dumped. There are release of many gases can be easily seen. Then waste management problems can be easily seen, like you move from the highways, you see the dumping sites are there, the water bodies are stinking, the soil is getting polluted, lots of clothes and bridges are putting. And nowadays because of corona, many persons are just putting the dead bodies also near the Ganga and other rivers, and in the sand itself 5,000 to 10,000 bodies are in 3 kilometer stretch. So it is also creating some soil pollution. Now pollution runs off through the river, and they kills the fishes, plant, and other aquatic life. Crops and fodder grown on the polluted soils may pass directly to the consumers through the water, through the soil, or through the food they eat. The polluted soil may no longer grow crops. May happen that some of the crops we can't grow, the fodder crops we can't grow, and it is because of the pollution. The pollutants add to the soil. The structure of the soil also damage. I told you their water retention capacity is decreased. Water logging may appear. Corrosion of the foundries or the pipelines which are dumped in the soil also creates a changes in the change of color, the soil, texture of the soil. Many release of gases and hydrocarbons occur because in the buildings we use various of the plastic bottles, hydrocarbon sealers. So it may create the toxic dust and toxic animals. Many poisonous substances are released when the children are playing over there. You can see the soil pollution effect in which the water bodies are near, like ponds and lakes. So you can see the dead fishes over there, and this is the site where the pollutant are increased, pollutant are uh, uh, spreading in the nearby locality. Now methods of the control of the soil pollution, there are 3R technology and deforestation technology. 3R means reducing, recycling, and reusing the materials, like chemical fertilizers, pesticide. We should reduce the use of these substances. Now recycling is to just recycle those things which we can use again. And this way we can't buy the new, if we buy the recycled things, they are cheaper ones, and they are reducing or the pressure on the forest. Like if you use the paper, recycled paper, it reduces the pressure on the forest, and it also reduces the pressure on the water bodies. Plastics, if we are reducing, we are reducing the air pollution, we are also reducing the volume of the reuse of the landfill sites. So in this way the soil pollution can be reduced if we use the recycled products, and recycled products are very much good for the environment. How to reuse the materials, it is very much important. Second hand materials should be used again and again. The material should be used. We should not think that in the 6 months we should replace the things. We have to think that the articles or the substances or the things should be used for a long run, long period of time. We should use the rechargeable batteries, rechargeable things. We should not use the primary or the things like single use plastic should be banned. Reusing things will be used. We should use the steel and other containers which can be washed and can be reused again and again. Deforestation should be uh, uh, not encouraged. Cutting down of trees should be reduced. The causes of erosion, pollution should be reduced. Loss of fertility and the topsoil should be reduced. And the programs like in the birthdays and other ceremonies, we should give the plant or tree, give trees to them. Reforestation should be there. Soil erosion should be prevented, and weeds and other minerals which are present in the soil should be reduced. If we reduce their growth, then we can reduce the soil pollution. It is one of the most method in the reducing the weed growth and covering in the soil, so that the newspaper and the plastic sheet which are remain on the earth can be reduced, and they can be land can be make the cultivable land. This also prevent the light from reaching to the weeds and they kill them. All the weeds can be easily killed by putting a layer of the wet newspaper or the plastic sheet, so that they can be reduced. Now, designated pits should be used for the dumping of the waste, not the all areas or the fertile land should be used. Chemical treated or the biological treated जो सॉइल है या फिर लैंड है, जहाँ पर वहीं पर हमें न्यूक्लियर एक्सप्लोजन करने चाहिए. जैसे राजस्थान में श्री हरिकोटा, ऐसी जगहों पर ही हमें एक्सप्लोजन करना चाहिए. रेडियो एक्टिव वेस्ट को डंप करना चाहिए. टॉक्सिक या हजार्डस वेस्ट को डंप करना चाहिए, ताकि बाकी जगह पर जहाँ पे सॉइल फर्टाइल है, जहाँ पे इनफर्टिलिटी नहीं है, वहाँ पर वो केमिकली पोल्यूशन ना कर सके. सो दीज आर सम मेथड्स इन विच वी शुड यूज अ डिफरेंट कलर डस्टबीन्स. वी शुड recycle, reuse and reduce. This is the symbol of the recycle 3R technology. Now we should make the compost. We should go for the segregation of the waste, in which the blue color dustbin should have the non biodegradable or the dry solid waste, and the green dustbin should have the collection of the wet or the biodegradable waste. Yellow dustbin is for the collection of the medicinal waste or the needles. And we should care for the soils, because soil is non renewable resource, and soil should be maintain for the longer run. And we should not dispose of the waste to the soil. If we are disposing the waste, the like hazardous chemical is 17%, mostly it is the general waste. So 79% is the domestic waste, 4% is the incineration waste. Now this is the case study about the land degradation in India, in which the 69% of the geographical area is the dry or the polluted area, and it is affects the 32% of the Indian total population, and because of the land degradation. Now what we can do for the as an individual to reduce the soil pollution? We should not use the plastic products. We should not litter the plastics. We should not use the we can the see the less of the we can also say that less of the packets should be there. Industry should not dispose of the chemical waste directly. There should be laws, and enforcing of the law should be made by the citizen. It's our duty to take the legal action against some of the environment offenders, case over them, so that they do not pollute the environment. Dumping of the non biodegradable waste, अगर आप कहीं देखते हैं कि लो लाइंग में हो रहा है या फर्टाइल लैंड को ख़त्म कर रहे हैं. इवन द नॉन ग्रीन एक्टिविटीज़, लाइक अगर आप कहीं पे टी गार्डन भी लगा रहे हो, तो भी वो नॉन ग्रीन एक्टिविटीज़ में आती कि वो तो आप चलो पौधा लगा रहे हो, ट्री लगा रहे हो. तो टी गार्डन मतलब समझते हैं कि चाय का उगाना, चाय पत्ती का उगाना, जो दार्जिलिंग वगैरह में एक्टिविटीज़ हुई थी, जो सेकंड मोस्ट हमारे देश है, जो मतलब निर्यात करता है, एक्सपोर्ट करता है टी को. बट वो भी एक नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल एक्टिविटी है, जिसमें क्या है कि मतलब सॉइल पोल्यूट हो रही है सॉइल. तो वी शुड एजुकेट द पर्सन्स अबाउट द पोल्यूशन बाय पब्लिक अवेयरनेस, अदर एक्टिविटीज़. एंड इट इज़ द वे थ्रू विच वी कैन मोटिवेट द अदर्स टू रिड्यूस द सॉइल पोल्यूशन. जैसे हमें स्वच्छ भारत अभियान है, उसमें हमें लिटर नहीं फैलाना चाहिए. पोटी जो लोग करते थे, टॉयलेट्स बनाए गए हैं. टॉयलेट्स इसलिए बनाए गए कि लोग अपना वेस्ट वहाँ पर मतलब एक्सक्रीटा वहाँ पर डालें, यानी कि एग्रीकल्चर लैंड में या सॉइल में डायरेक्टली लिटर करें. तो क्लीन इंडिया, बी इंडिया, we should try to go for the cleaner technologies. We should try to go for the better India. We should not go for the soil pollution. So it is the awareness through which we can create some kind of activities. And if you have any doubt, you can ask directly that this is the problem. And we have to please comment me if you have any doubt and problem. Thank you so much. to be a patient listener. Thanks a lot.